Hey gamers, so I'm Tom Fury from Zero News and I don't normally cover this stuff, but everybody, or not everybody, there's a lot of people in the market right now in the YouTube business trying to freak you out, really trying to freak you out, trying to make you believe that you'll never be able to afford a GPU again, trying to make you believe that you'll have to go and get GeForce Now and all of these other things, and all because of the AI market. And this AI market that's going to keep stealing these chips is what's going to prevent, because Nvidia are taking their business elsewhere, graphics cards manufacturers and other things, means that you won't be able to afford your usual hardware. You can't get the hardware that you want. And some of you know that for years there's been this fake memory ceiling for graphics cards. They kept it around 8 gigabytes, made special editions of cards that were a bit bigger. But the fake memory ceiling was a deliberate thing done by just giving the graphics cards just a little bit too less memory. What they were doing was it was improving it for the next generation of games, but it wasn't a card that would otherwise might last 5 years. Some graphics cards could last 5 years easily. And it could stay really competitive for 5 years. But by deliberately keep underloading the memory, they were always causing it to need an upgrade once new stress factors were put on games. So I mean, these games have been played a lot. Back in I think it was 2020, back end of 2020, GPU prices went through the roof, and I sold a 3070 RTX card, which was supposed to go for about £330 at the time. I think I sold it for 900 quid, and I wasn't the most expensive person by a long shot. I only sold it because I couldn't believe the ridiculous prices that people were paying for. I was like, it's not worth me keeping it, you know. But it was because people, you know, I will say people were told by professionals back then, keep your head, stay calm. Shortages happen. They do. When SSDs came out, they're all made from the same thing, all made from silicon and that. So when you bring out a new type of technology that uses silicon, it's going to cause a shortage at first until they can catch up with that kind of demand. But in the case of the AI market, there would be a serious case of worry because AI has been marketed to take over the world, and anything less is not good enough. So, because that's how it's been marketed, as real AI rather than what it is, and that is fake early attempts at AI. So, what you're being led to believe is this market's so big and growing because, again, it was marketed to change the world, and anything less than that will be a total failure and a bust for the market. So they're telling you this to raise prices, to cause you to panic buy, to cause all these things to happen, and to cause you to pay for the most expensive cards. And yeah, this is and if the AI market had have been what they thought it would be, you would be in deep shit now. I see the price of GPUs at the moment. You would be in deep trouble now because of the fact that yes, if there was real money to be made in the AI market long term, like on the scale that it is at the moment, you might be done. You might really be looking for people to replace Nvidia and other people. They would leave the sector. I think that's probably fair to say. But the real story, which you can find from many websites now and many even channels on YouTube, if you can put the dots together and see what's happening in the markets, it doesn't take much to work out what's going on. And that is, everybody's been knowing that the AI bubble was going to burst, because it is a bubble and bubbles burst, as opposed to things that are slightly more elongated last, because they change certain things, and they have a target audience and they stick. What's happened with AI is it's been marketed as AI, the AI that we had in our heads from sci-fi movies. It's been made to look that way, but the actual market's been kept alive by something called AI tourists. The people that come in, try it, keep it for a little while, get all of the novelty out of it, all the dopamine hits you can get out of it, because that's what it's all about, dopamine hits, just like a computer game. And then once they've got everything out of it, they realize there's no creativity in it. When they make a picture, it's not them. It all goes hollow very quick, and then they leave. In the case of people that have tried to use things like Google Gemini and other things as a tool, unless it's sending an email or doing something like that, it can do all that fine. But if you're trying to use it as a proper research tool, it's too busy lying and getting things wrong to be useful as a tool. You can't use it as a tool for a podcast for that very reason. It might give you the right information, or it might make it up because it can't say I don't know. All these things that are built into the machine, by the way, a lot of the time by the people that make them. But that's another whole story I'm not going to get into. So for all these reasons and a billion more, AI was marketed as something that needed to change the world because that was what people always believed it would. Not only has it fallen short of that mark, it's actually come out to be, now we've run out of tourists to go through it, it's actually come out to be liability. It's actually come out to be dangerous in some cases, but it's also, it's collapsing. This year, 2026, major companies announced major investments in AI, 180 million from Google. I think the total was about 600 million from different companies. Already they're walking that back. Just the announcement of putting any more money into AI made the shareholders lose complete confidence. The stocks plummeted immediately, straight after these announcements. The CEO of NVIDIA, the guy that makes your graphics cards in a lot of cases, he has seen this and he was pledging 100 million to, I think it was OpenAI or something. He's now walking that back. He's now walking that back big time, which means he sees what's coming. So if you think about the PC market is at the moment, a lot of people go with NVIDIA like me. I go with NVIDIA because I'm a video editor as well as a gamer. So I rely on things like CUDA and other things that AMD do make their own versions of these things. But we rely on these things because they make, like Intel, they try and make you stick to a standard if you're using certain tools. It's a bit of a bastard, to be honest, because I like AMD. But with certain things, they try and make you stick to these things. And they tend to be the first one to come out with technology because it's kind of like a rigged market to go with them. But with that said, if they vacate the market, then the ecosystem and the infrastructure no longer needs also to then rely on their technology. So what I'm trying to tell you is, if the AI market is shaking, NVIDIA are not going to leave. Let somebody else fill that space and fill all the technologies that you need, and get them from someone else. Because what they'll be effectively doing is shutting the door behind them. When they try to come back through it, you will have a new girlfriend. She will have moved in, and she will have the new keys, the only keys that work, and they will be the unwanted ex-partner. They know that they're not stupid. If I know this, they know this. So there are people now pulling money out of AI. It's most likely, it's never going to die. It's just never been ready, and they marketed it wrong. They marketed it as AI, like in sci-fi movies, meaning it was going to change the world. It's made some advances in medicine. It's done some good things. It's great for video editing tools. I don't mean making AI videos. I mean video editing tools that help you edit video better or quicker, and make your computer feel more powerful when you're editing it. AI at home is a big thing at the moment, but that is going to have a drop off as well, for the same reasons that it's not going to be what people thought it was going to be, and in a lot of cases it isn't. So that will become a niche market in itself. I'm willing to take a bet that by the end of 2026, beginning of 2027, you're getting an announcement for a load of new GPUs coming in. I wouldn't even be surprised if it happened quicker than that. At first, there will still be the supply and demand problem, but I do think, and people have said they're going to go back to old GPUs. The only reason they'll do that is if they panic. But I think that they're going to turn their attention back to this market quicker than you think. Not because they're good guys, not because of anything like that, but because the AI market really is. It's not about to burst. It is bursting. It's collapsing right now. That's why shareholders are running the other way. And that's why people are walking back statements. Literally, we went into 2026, everybody pledging to go forward with AI because it was so fantastic. Most of them walking it back, except the AI companies themselves, obviously. But everybody else that doesn't necessarily need it have all kind of like stood back from it because, again, they're losing money just by talking about it. That tells you how sick to death of it everybody is, including the shareholders, because it just can't deliver. It can't deliver on the things that they wanted it to. So it needs to become the video editing tool. It needs to become the doctor's, tool that helps the doctor or whatever else. But so these people trying to scare you about the price of this and the price of that. If the price is, Nvidia will return. If the prices stay high, there comes a point where you just know you're being fleeced for the sake of it. But I saw this go on before, and then it dropped down. The reason people are so worried this time, as opposed to the times in the past, because this has always happened. These GPU prices things always happened. The reason they're more worried this time is because they didn't realise that the AI market was a bubble. Many of them thought it was a sustainable model. And only now, and this will filter through. But it's only now people are beginning to realise, oh, this AI thing, yeah, it's not going away completely, but it's not going to be this thing they thought it was going to be. Not unless somebody can pull out something out the bag right now, and that's looking like almost impossible. So I would say do what you've done in the past. Just hold on, hang on in there, and things will be alright. You go rush into these like GeForce Now things, giving them exactly what they want. They'll use any excuse to hike prices anyway. But I do think they were going to leave. I do think they were going to, but they can't now, and they would be slicing their throats because literally, if in 5 years' time, and it wouldn't take that long, but if in 5 years' time they really need you back in this market, it may already be filled. That's a long time in technology land. So a company can be replaced in that time very quickly. So yeah. Anyway, for what that's worth, which is my opinion, but it's based on, like I say, I know I haven't done research or provide you any proof. Go and take a look at Google's money that they've spent on it and what it's actually being spent on. Go and take a look at what's happened with the CEO of Nvidia, the statement he made about spending 100 million. Then see what happened to his share prices, and then just look around at other companies. You'll see the same patterns. The information's all there, and some YouTubers are beginning to get that info together. It's worth taking a look at, and don't let them panic you in this market. Tom Fury, Zero News, calling it a day for now.